Hi guys, welcome back to Hither Green TMD in O-Gauge. It's been a few weeks since we've done an update, the last one being when the Queen Mary brake van arrived and having a little play around with that. This video actually is a celebration, although it's not really a party celebration, but just marks 1 year since I've started the O-Gauge project. How far have we got? Well, I'd like to have been further, as we all do, but work comes in the way. I had a holiday in the UK for a few weeks and all that had to be paid for and everything else. But for the first time in a layout that I've built in for years, I've actually got all the boards made and built. Traverser, first traverser I ever made, so that works nicely. The track is down, apart from in the shed obviously. Still having issues sourcing a back seam, but we're on another option with that. And to celebrate, I've treated myself to a present. Don't tell the wife, but 60001 is finally going to get finished. Apart from the numbers, I have ordered from Digitrains a Zimo sound chip with Paul Chetter Class 60 sound. Normally I've gone for Lego Man Biffo when I was going to go in this instance, but this works out slightly cheaper, and I've seen Steve Smith's video with his Class 60 with the Paul Chetter sounds in, and it works and sounds really nice. So I've gone down that option, and we'll have a look at that when I come to fit the chip in a few weeks, hopefully, when it arrives. And that takes us on to where we are now. I have done things, you'll probably notice, those of you that have been here regularly, that the backboard up here has got a coat of paint on. So what we'll do is we'll take a closer look at the layout, where I got up to and the plans for today. Okay, not an exciting picture, blank white, but that's what I need. So that is now prepared for the back scene. The join here where the hardboard joins the plywood has been filled, sanded smooth, so it's a nice gentle curve there now, there's no lip. So when the back scene is applied, hopefully you won't even know there's a join there. And the same, if I take you around up to the corner, it's been filled and smooth where we've got the wood moulding in the centre there, but I couldn't get it a nice even curve just with the sanding and shaping of the wood, so we've got a thick piece of wood and a nice skim of filler. So now all this all blends into one and hopefully will be invisible once the back scene is applied. What I've also done, if I just bring you down and round again, is put first part of the concrete walkway. Now this is the same filler which I've used on the back scene over there, but I'm not entirely happy with it. As you can see, it makes a mess no matter how tidy you try to be with it, and I'm not happy with the finish, and what I've got to do is replicate it inside the shed with the concrete in there as well. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to rip it up and start again, but this time with some heavy mounting card that you use in picture framing, and see if we can make a tidier job, one that is easily repeatable inside the shed, so everything will all blend together nice and neatly. So we'll rip this up and we'll start again. Don't be afraid to admit a mistake and try something else. That's what we're going to do now. Got the worst off, and we'll just finish clearing out the bulk of it although I will still have to fill in the edge of the rails here because of the design at the real depot, where you've got concrete up to where the edge of the chairs is, and then a bit of bitumen, tarmac, whatever you wish to call it, inserted down the side to fill in the gap. So we'll just clean the basics off, the worst lumps. Like I say, it was a valiant effort. It's actually stuck harder than I thought, so it's gone on nicely. At the end of the day, you've got to live with it, and if you're not happy with it, well, no point in accepting something that is going to bug you for years. Just try something different. Like I say, this time we are now going to try with some thick mounting card. Okay, so the card I have is mounting card. It's a grey in this case. It's about 1.5mm thick, and I've measured it 60mm wide because that's the width I want my walkway, and I shall now just cut some lengths and stick them and sandwich them to build up the height to adjust below the rail level. And the advantage is, if it's the wrong height, I can always just pack it up with ordinary cardboard, a bit of offcuts from a cereal packet or whatever, till I'm just the height that I want. So first off, we're going to measure up, and I want some pieces that are 40mm wide. And just so it's easy to see, we'll just go on the back of the board. I want a couple of pieces 40 wide, so I'll put that there. I have in my drawer here a little square. And we just easy as that, and then just with a nice new sharp blade, just a couple of passes, and there's one. Now I reckon I need 2 of those, and we'll then see how high we are in comparison then to the rail, and then I can just repeat it for all the others, however many I need. Simple as that. 2 pieces ready to sandwich together, and we'll try it on the layout. So we'll place them on there. I reckon that is just the head of the rail low, and I don't think 3 will fit. I reckon 3 will be too many. So we'll go with 2 of each. I might just cut a small piece of one just to see. Just a tiny bit. Will 3 be 2? Yeah, 3 is right on it. So I reckon 2 and a bit of cereal packet. And cereal packet doesn't have to be accurate either. So easy peasy. Back in a sec. Okay, you probably notice there's a big dollop of glue here. Luckily I opened it above the layout and not the carpet, because it's a form of contact adhesive, but it just ejaculated itself right out of the tube when I unscrewed the lid for the first time. So it says it's a contact adhesive and it needs to dry. It's quite stringy. I've not used this glue before, so I'll try and scoop some of it off, which is going to be harder than what it appears. Quite difficult. But it's fine because we've got to spread it on each item to be joined. So there's one piece on one side. We'll just continue to spread it around the areas that I'm going to need to glue, so we won't waste any of it. Not quite what I was expecting. Get some over here as well, so at least all the bases are prepared. Okay, so that's one piece. Hopefully now that I'm all sticking gluey, I can get some out of the tube without it going everywhere. Now that the pressure is released, we'll just get a little spread that out. I've not used this glue before, so I don't know how good it's going to be. We'll give it a go. Even coating on there. Also, the other one's leaking everywhere. This glue is going to be strung all over the layout, I reckon, by the time we're finished. But there we go. So there we go. Try and get it even. Just a smear all over. And now we leave that to dry. Well, considering how I've been unable to let go of some of these bits of card, once the glue, that's it. So apparently you've got to wait till there's no tackiness left, but boy, it's sticking to my fingers. Every time I go to pick something up, I can't let go of the thing anymore. So now the glue is dried. Easy as that. There's one. Yep, that's the double-sided glued one as well. I've got bits of cork stuck on it now. Just get that to where I want it, in line with the wood, and press it down. And lastly, this piece. Well, I've got to paint them as well yet anyway, and everything else, so it doesn't matter if I've got glue on the top surface. Just give that a good squeeze there. Right, that has got that. This glue is pretty good, I think. Hopefully in the long run it will stay, but you know, by the time I varnish it and paint it and everything else, I think the card is going to be pretty strong, pretty well protected up to the trek. So I shall, that one's dried, so I need a piece of card remote for there, and it's that way or that way. Try and get it the right way around. And up to the board, get it in the centre. That's where it needs to go. Oh, every little bit of glue that's stuck on my fingers is sticking to. So that's double-sided. This is a bit double-sided. Again, get it in the centre, in line with the bit of wood on the back. And shuts down. And the top piece, which was this one first. And that's like there. And the last one. Get it the right way round. In the middle, up against the board. Double-sided. And the top of the sandwich. And press it down. That is a lot neater. Much happier with that than the other messy way of doing it. I assume you think the same. And with the roll across there, we can see the card is just slightly lower than the railhead. There we go. We'll just remove this piece of wood now from in between there. Hey presto! One neat and tidy. Just bring you around there as well. Walkway. Now the bit in the middle here will bridge both boards and will be a piece that I lay in and can take out. It'll have rails on the side as well as a lift out section. So that's the plan for there. So what I've got to do now is one of these, I think it's this one here, was a concrete pad, and these two are tiles, you know, slabs, as in pavers type slabs rather than a concrete slab like this. So I'll just go and refer to some photos and we'll get some more bits of card cut and glued down. Okay, and here we have all the parts of the walkway measured up and cut out. I was right with the tiles, which ones are the concrete slabs and which one is just the concrete poured apron. So I have the concrete apron there, 2 layers, the base layer and the slabs, and the narrow one for the edge of the layout. So it's quite simple. Now everything has dried. It's just a case of putting the parts together and pressing them down to make the little sandwich. Now I'll put a slight step there because it's going to be at an angle and I want this to butt up against it, so it allows not to have a big gap at the top. And the same for the slabs. I shall have just a slight overlap on the top one, and it will just work my way be straight because that was all over the place. And I've got one missing at the bottom as well. So these will also be covered in sand and dirt and paint when they're all done. So there's one. Shoot, I can't remember if I've got the right, now I've done it, I can't remember if I've got the right one missed off, but I can sort that shortly. Go back and recheck. So again, slight overlap at the top of this one. And bring the four down. At the side. These got to be trimmed so they have the right width for the board once it's together. But once it's trimmed, tidied, and in place, painted and weathered, they'll look really good. So there's the three walkways, so we'll take them up to the layout on top. Well, there we have the three walkways glued down. Unfortunately I forgot to press the record button, it was getting a bit temperamental with glue on my fingers I think, and using the iPad to control the camera meant it didn't actually work, but there we go. Glue is good stuff when you're used in the correct way. So anyway, I was right about the missing tile, slab rather, so that is now correct. All I did was put a little piece of cardboard packing under the middle here just to give a bit of support. Glue, PVA glue this time, just to glue it down, and that will be fine. I'll give it a coat of varnish before I paint it just to reinforce the card and prevent it from delaminating and falling apart. Hopefully over age it will just help bind it together to give it a bit of protection over the years. So we now have the basis of the walkway. As I said, I don't know if I've recorded it, I'll find out in the edit, but if I haven't I'll refresh anyway. The centre part of the walkways here, which will have the check rails and the concrete in the centre, that will be a lift out section to cover up the join in the board. So that's why that's not made yet, that's easy. I've got to fill in the edge here with a bit of filler to represent where the tarmac is, the bitumen, depending on where you come from. That got put in around the rail chairs and the outside of the rail, and so that there we are. So this part is now ready for painting. A concrete colour. I'll do these slabs a slightly lighter grey than they are now, and this will be more of a stone coloured concrete, because concrete was rarely grey other than when it was initially poured. It's sort of worn down over the years with diesel and oil and everything else getting walked into it. It's sort of gone to almost the same colour as these baseboards. But there we have it. So that's the update for today. I hope it's been useful, and any questions from anybody, please by all means stick it in the comments section below, and we'll catch you next time. See you.